Okay, y'all ready? I am ready to dive into chapter 4. So, he has met this redhead, green-eyed beauty. Is there anybody besides Ariel that has red hair? And we have Kyrie, but I don't think I have any characters that have green eyes. So here's what we're gonna do. This right here is going to be Emily, whatever her name is. So we're gonna put you up. It's kind of a reddish, kind of color. All right. So that's that, and then we'll have Blanche here for now. So which character is gonna be Brady? They really haven't described Brady, have they? All that we know is that he's a man. Like, we don't know if he has like black hair, brown hair, blonde hair. We don't know if, if he's like big, if he's small, black, white, brown, blue, green, purple, magenta. We don't know. So we're just going to, let's see. So I tell you what right now, I think I want this to be Stan, the crazy man from his Novelist series. That's, I guess, gets obsessed with his women and kills them. It's gonna be Riku, but for let's see. All right, I guess you're right. I guess it's only fitting that we have this be Brady for now. I feel like Brady's a little bit older though. I feel like Brady is, because Brady, like, for him to have been a writer for 10 to 12 years, I can't really see him being Sora. Like, Sora's, I kind of, honestly, I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like, and don't judge me. Okay. I feel like Bob is giving, Brady vibes, because Brady comes across to me as someone who is a little older. Again, he's been doing this for 12 years. He has 15 books. So I guess in that case we can't really do Kyrie, because that makes it seem like he's a grown man, and so let's do oh, you know what? I mean, it doesn't really make it that much better, because okay, let's just take the ages out, because I think technically, like, everybody, do I have any women's? Sheila got some women's. You know what? For the sake of ages, we're just gonna say that this is Emily, okay? We're just gonna do that. Okay. All right, so let's do it. This is Emily and this is Brady. Let's do it. All right, here we go. Chapter 4. Frightened and hiding in a closet, this young woman could not have been older than 35. She hid while hearing the footsteps of what she thought to be the love of her life tiptoeing around the house in search of her. Let's see. She controls her breathing, desperately calming her nerves from the over excessiveness of shaking, from being so frightened by her life being threatened. She opened the door quietly and peeked out to see where he was. She felt better going with her plan when she did not see him anywhere. She plans to hurry out of that house and escape from his broken mind. The once love of her life has become an uncontrollable killing machine. While peeking out through the barely open door of the closet, she brushes back her long, straight blonde hair from out of her teary, frightened blue eyes. She could see her boyfriend, who she had spent several years with, casually walking by with an axe tightly in his grip. His dark brown eyes had his lust for blood within them. She could hear him calling out for her, but not but not by her name. He would only call out for her to come out of hiding, his voice sounding so calm and assuring, as though he could be trusted. She waits for him to appear from out of sight, and her escape is ready once that happens. She waits for him to disappear from out of his sight. Okay, or appear, I don't know. Okay, she carefully makes her way out of the closet, fighting the fear, causing her to tremble uncontrollably. Just then, just as she was about to run, his voice could be heard behind her. "There you are, my love," she screams. He goes to run, she goes to run, but the man grabs her from behind, wrapping his arms around her neck, choking her, while with the other hand gripping the axe handle, bringing it into view for her eyes to see. She screamed louder, trying to break free from his grip. He kept fighting and squirming to get free. She kept fighting and squirming to get free. She would not give up, but the fear was overpowering her. Brady jumps from his deep sleep. Oh, okay. He glanced around the room, realizing he had fallen asleep at his computer while finishing his latest novel. Surely, wait, is this the same one that where the couple was on the beach and they, smashing every 5 minutes? Because if so, then Brady is a big fan of danger. Let's see. He wiped his eyes and stared at the computer screen, backtracking where he had left off before laying his head on the desk and falling asleep. He could see the sun setting through his window, so he knew it was getting dark soon. He looked around his room, still fighting the exhaustion of not sleeping well lately. Since being told by Samuel to finish the 4th installment of the successful book series he had written, his mind was taken by that, and the fact that he met that beautiful young lady, Emily. His mind was full of thoughts about her. He glances over towards his bookshelf, where he keeps all the books he has written. While glancing at it, he can see his book series, The Novelist and the Lake House. He stands up from his computer chair and walks over to the bookshelf. He grabbed the first book of his successful book series and stared over the cover a moment before opening the book. Right away, he was getting flashbacks of him and his girlfriend when writing that book at the lake house, Tanya, both making love in bed while a thunderstorm was happening outside. He could still hear the thunder echoing across the dark sky that night. He could still see the streaks of lightning flashing through the night sky. The warmth of Tanya when he was... Ooh. He could still remember the claw marks from her fingernails digging into his back. They would get deeper into his skin the more he could still see her straight, long blonde hair. He has a thing for blondes. And her blue eyes when they would lock onto him. Oh, I think that he makes whatever woman in the book look like the woman he's dating. The previous book had the woman with the blonde hair and the blue eyes. This new woman has red hair and green eyes. Okay, so I bet you this fourth installment, whatever the leading lady is, she's going to have green eyes and red hair. Let's see. Okay. He can still see her straight, long blonde hair and her blue eyes when they would lock onto his while he was on top of her. He can remember just how crazy she would get during how she would quickly push him off so she could climb on top of him and ride. Ooh. Oh. He could still remember her well after all those years of being apart. She was an average height for a woman, and she had a slight curve to her that gave her ass a bit of a jiggle for her weight. When she weighed just over 110 pounds. 110? What jiggle? what jiggle yeah, what jiggle does she have at 110? 110 is like, yeah, it's goals, the goal. I mean, it's not my goal, but it's goals. So, well, not really. My goal is a little bit more than that. I just want the bow, 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 bow. I don't necessarily put a number to like 110, 120, 130, 140, 150. I just want the shape. I don't care what the weight is. So, anywho's, let's see. All right, a bit of a jiggle for her weight, which she weighed just over 110 pounds. He can still remember the way her would jiggle. What you used to giggle when you wiggle. When she rode, ooh. Or when he would have his way with her, ooh. He can still remember the first time he had ever done her, ooh. Again, I don't know no woman whose stuff would jiggle at 110 pounds, but maybe it's the way it's distributed. Hey, let's see. Ooh. Brady is a wild man. Where's Blanche? Oh my goodness sakes. Let's see. Ooh. He remembers it was taking some time for him to get used to that, so he wouldn't get. Ooh. He placed the book back on the shelf. He could feel himself rising within his bed. He is ready at all times. This man is ready at all times, okay? Let's see. But I'm noticing he didn't say any emotions that he felt for her. It felt like it seems like he just had like physical things for these women. Like the way that he makes a big deal of, oh, I need a woman here, I need a woman. Again, I think that's more for physical reasons and writing the book than actual being in love or having emotions tied to him. Let's see. He placed the book back on the shelf. He could feel himself rising within his pants just by the thought of her, the old memories they once shared, almost causing him to forget why they called it quits with each other. All that was beginning to flow from his thoughts, while new thoughts were overtaking his mind. Thoughts of Emily surfaced. Come on, Emily. Yeah. Come on, Emily. I see. Knowing he had another chance to start over with someone new. The thought of taking her was overwhelming. He could imagine the warm sensation he could get from her. He walks back over and sits at his computer. He looks at what he's written before glancing back over at the bookshelf. When his eyes make contact with his best-selling book series, he can hear the cries from all the women all at once. They were afraid. Their lives were in danger because of the sounds of the cries he heard. Another chapter they want? He mumbles while he hears the screams and cries from his books. It sounded like three women mixed. Perhaps his memory of writing those books stuck with him. The fact that they were so successful, and the fond memories he shared with love interests while writing them during his stay at the lake house. All right, so that is chapter 4. Okay, so like I said, I feel like he is slowly getting back into the process of doing this 4th book. Because yes, he's kind of touching on this new book, but he's really starting to kind of train his mind and get back into the mindset needed to do this 4th book. Because anybody who writes books knows that it takes time and it takes consistency to really get back in that mode and into that mindset. So big ups to him, okay? But again, I just wonder, like, are you in love with these women, or are you just using them, like, to write this book? Like, what is going on? I need to know, sir, okay? feel like I can't wait for him to start like the series. But I kind of feel like it's starting already. But like I said, Brady is ready to go at all times. Like, he is ready to go at all times. Like, he is ready to go with Emily. He's having flashbacks of this woman. Each book, he was with a different woman. So, I'm going to assume that he has had his pick of the litter. I'm going to assume that he's a good-looking guy, you know. But yeah. Next is chapter 5. I can't wait to dive into that with y'all. Tell me what you think in the comments. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace.